Hi, and welcome to The Bright Balloon, a podcast where I'm sharing bright ideas for your balloon business. My name is Sarah Meyer, and I'm a balloon business owner like you, and I love the creative side of what I do, but I really love the business side, which seems to be the part where most people struggle. So I'm here to help. Each week, I'm bringing you an episode full of bite-sized tips you can use to make tiny improvements to your business. I want you to make more money, eliminate stress, and learn along with me as we grow our creative businesses together. Welcome to The Bright Balloon. Hello and welcome to another episode. Today I am chatting about something that I have definitely done, and I think many of you probably have too, and that is over-delivering. So as a service-based industry, we really want to make our customers happy, and we really always want that wow factor. However, the easiest and most natural way to get there is by over-delivering and adding more and more balloons to get to that wow factor, sometimes to the point where at the end of the day, we've delivered an installation that's worth twice what the client paid. So I'm going to be chatting about why that's kind of a risky strategy, and then also techniques on how you can over-deliver for free. So let's take a quick break and then get right into this episode.
How many Google reviews do you have? Hi, I'm Jeff at Asset Lab, and did you know that we recommend businesses get to 40 five-star reviews on Google My Business before they even start asking for reviews on other platforms? If you're facing competition, we work with balloon decor companies every day, and we can help you figure out what's the right thing to do for you so that you can get more leads, more phone calls, more contact form submissions. Learn more about us at assetlab.us.
All right, let's get right into it. We are going to chat about over-serving, which to me, as someone who likes to be helpful, I have always thought of over-serving my clients as like a good quality. But when you're talking about actual product, it can get dicey really quick, because a lot of times when we talk about over-serving, that means we are giving free balloons away. It means that we are including additional product that customer didn't necessarily buy, and that can be really, really risky and get you in hot water pretty quick. So I'm going to talk about 3 reasons why you don't want to overserve with free product, and then I'm going to talk about 5 ways that you can overserve that doesn't cost money, that doesn't equate to free balloons. So if you're listening and you're like not really sure what I'm talking about, what I mean by overserving is like if somebody orders $200 in balloon garland, and you bring $200 of balloon garland and you hang it up and it looks really underwhelming, I feel like as creative people, our first reaction is to add more and think, this isn't fully what they ordered or paid for, but like it just needs another 5 feet of garland, so I'm going to add that on, and they're never going to know. And again, I think that we see that as being generous. We see that as going above and beyond, but that can get us into trouble as business owners. So let's talk about some of those reasons why over serving with product is risky. The first is, what if that person who ordered $200 in balloon garland places that same exact order next year? They are going to expect it to look the same. So that requires you to either charge them more this time around, or once again include that free upgrade that you tacked on last time. And a lot of times our clients don't even know that we are trying to overserve, that we are adding balloons for free, so they don't know that what they're expecting is different. So we're just setting a standard that is, first of all, not what they ordered. So the most realistic scenario is that you're going to forget that you added on those additional balloons, and their install this next year isn't going to look as good as it did last year because they don't realize that they were getting a bunch of balloons for free. So anytime we're adding stuff for free, we're putting our clients in kind of a weird situation, and we're putting ourselves into a position where the second time around it might not look as good and someone might be disappointed. Or you're putting yourself in a situation where you are going to have to provide that additional additional product for free year after year after year. Again, think about this as like in balloon columns. Let's say someone ordered 2 balloon columns and then all of a sudden you get there and really they needed 4. You would never just like make 2 more balloon columns and add those. But for some reason, I think organic garland is a slippery slope because it's so easy to add to, and it's so easy to want to just like add more and more and more. That's why I personally think for organic garland, you need to have a formula. I have a formula. I have a really inexpensive tutorial that you can use, but whatever formula you use, it should be consistent so that 6 feet of garland is always 6 feet of garland. If someone orders 6 feet of garland, you shouldn't be showing up with 10 because that means you're not charging for those last 4, but you're just including them for free, which leads to the second and most important reason why it's risky to overserve with product. And that is your profits. Anytime you give someone free balloons, you are taking that money out of your own pocket. So even though they only ordered $200 worth of garland and really could have used $300 worth of garland, do you like that person enough to give them $100 cash out of your pocket? Because that's essentially what it is. You are cutting directly into your own profits. And most of us probably aren't even charging what we should in the first place. So there's certainly not a lot of wiggle room to just be throwing in additional product for free. Now, I will sometimes do this with like a standalone foil balloon. Foils especially, I just don't like having random ones laying around because I find them really hard to organize. So I will sometimes add in like 1 or 2 additional foils just to overserve and be nice and get them out of my shop. But like I am not bulking up huge installations just so they look better. Customers get what they pay for, and that's why I price all of my installations visually. Like I have menus so people can see what a 1 garland installation looks like, what a 2 garland installation looks like, what a 3 garland installation looks like, so that they have an idea of what they're getting. And that is what I'm bringing. I'm not adding additional, I'm not adding upsells for free. I think it's really important to keep that consistent. And then the last reason where you could quickly get into trouble by overserving is word of mouth. People tell their friends about our businesses. Word of mouth is one of the best ways to spread awareness of our companies, of balloons. People love seeing photos on Facebook and Instagram, and then they ask, what did you order? How much did it cost? And you don't want word of mouth actually working against you. You don't want someone telling you that, or telling their friends that this $500 installation only costs $200, and then their friend is going to expect that same level and those same add-ons for free, and also a free site visit, and also a free takedown. Like, we get in trouble when we think we're doing nice things for our customers, but we're setting us and them and their friends up for confusion. The best thing is to keep your pricing consistent, deliver what people pay for, what they've asked for. Sometimes it's not going to be enough, and that's fine. They will learn, and you will also learn to charge more or to sell more, like being confident enough to be like, 2 garlands isn't enough for that doorway. You want 5. And that way when they say, no thanks, I just want 2, and it looks really puny, you at least tried to get them to order an appropriate amount. It is not then your job to overserve and over-deliver to the point that they like it. Your job is to deliver what they ordered. So enough about why overserving is problematic and going to get you in trouble. Let's talk about ways that you really can overserve, because I don't want this whole episode to be like, never go above and beyond. Don't lift a finger. Don't do anything to help your clients. We definitely want to overserve and be the best service provider that our clients have ever worked with, but we don't need to do that in the form of free balloons. So let's take a quick break, and then I'm going to share 5 ways that you can overserve that are really low cost, and most of them are free. If you've listened to any episodes of this podcast, you know that I think the most important part of running a balloon business is the customer experience. I like making it easy for my customers to purchase from me and pay me. I like making the process clear, and I like being really approachable and easy to talk to, which is why as a customer, I love receiving that same treatment when I shop for balloons. I love having a party wholesale because they take care of me as their client. They always have recommendations. They treat me with respect. They know the industry, and they make it easy for me to shop and pay. So if you are in need of a balloon distributor or just want to check them out, click the link in the show notes and let them know that the Bright Balloon sent you. Okay, enough of the negative stuff about why you should not be over-delivering with product. Let's actually focus on some of the things that you can do that will make it appear like you are going above and beyond, but really if done right and consistently, these are things that you can do for all of your clients. You're not actually over-delivering, you're just providing a really awesome experience, but to your client, it's going to feel like you are the best service provider ever. So really quick, let's just be honest. We are surrounded by horrible service providers right now. Every restaurant is hiring, every place is understaffed, everyone is overworked. So like if you go into a McDonald's, you're gonna get some really subpar service. So right now is actually a great time to be an amazing service provider. It's really easy to stand out. I think people are just used to like having to wait and not having great communication, and even contractors are like so booked up, it's just normal to call someone and not get a return call. So we can really stand out by being stellar service providers. Now, notice that I'm saying service providers. We are not providing free product for free. So that was the whole beginning part. That is the easiest way that we fall into this trap of thinking we're providing a bonus service, but really we're just essentially handing over our own money to our clients. So how can we overserve for free? The first is going to be, before you ever get to your job, it's clear communication. I have so many episodes on communication. 17 Hats is my CRM that really helps me automate and not miss a beat when it comes to communication. But you can have great communication and not have any automation in place. That means being really consistent and thoughtful in your communication. Make sure to use spell check. Make sure to answer questions. Just being very good at communication. That will keep you so far ahead of the competition alone. Just being clear, sending reminders, sending follow-ups, sending thank you emails, just having amazing communication is the number one way that people will feel like they are getting the royal treatment. But really, you can do this for all of your customers. So that is the first way. And I think along with your communication, kind of helping your customers know what to expect, again, will help set their expectations. So if you say you're going to confirm the day before, make sure you confirm the day before. And if you say you're going to be there at 2 o'clock for their 4 o'clock event, roll up at 2 o'clock on the dot. Like, that alone is so different than what people are experiencing right now, that you can be an over-deliverer just by doing your job well. So doing the things that you say you're going to do is the easiest way to make your clients feel like you're just killing it. You're just knocking it out of the park. So clear communication before you ever get to the job. Now, this is a strategy that actually was pointed out in my interview with Amanda Ray about 17 Hats. And she talked about the importance of being present at your job installation. And for her background is photography. So really being able to have a conversation with your client, being relaxed, being confident, knowing their name when you get to the door, knowing exactly what they're celebrating, all of those things make it seem like you are just their personal balloon artist. And really all it is paying attention. I, again, rely really heavily on 17 Hats to keep me organized in that area, but I think one of the reasons why we can't always give our customers the attention they deserve is because we're rushed. We have to go from one job to another job. or we're scattered. Like we're late because we couldn't find the email with the address and we forgot what they're celebrating because we just didn't put it in our notes. So a lot of this comes from being organized and also on time. When you leave yourself enough time to properly do a job, having a conversation with a customer is really easy and fun. But when they're trying to chit chat and you know that you have to get out of there in exactly 25 minutes or you're going to be late for your next job, they can tell and you come off as really cold. And I'm not saying you do this. I'm saying, like, from experience, I have done this. I have been rushed. I have been scattered. Okay, story time. I just had a terrible installation that I'm still irritated about, but looking back, I feel very bad about. So I had a bizarre situation happen. I had a job and it was supposed to be delivering 2 helium bouquets and hanging 1 garland. So, like, very small. So I left myself a half an hour thinking I'd roll up, I'd plunk the little helium bouquets down, and then I was going to attach this garland to a fireplace, which for me, a half an hour is plenty of time to do that. However, I get there and it's a gated community and this thing is in their clubhouse. So I'm driving around. I can see the clubhouse, like it's in the backyards of these homes, but I just keep driving in a semicircle back and forth, and this neighborhood is on the lake. So from one side, it's water. Like I can't drive around in a full circle. It's like a semicircle, and I'm just going around and around and back and forth, and I can't find the road that actually leads to the clubhouse, but I can see the clubhouse. So I'm calling the customer. I'm saying, I just don't know where to park. I can't find anything. So finally I asked these little, like, I don't know, they looked like they were 8-year-old boys driving around in a golf cart. And I said, where is the clubhouse? And they were like, oh, it's right there. And right there is like a quarter mile down the road. And I was asking, where do I pull up? Like, where's the parking lot? And they said, you can't, you have to walk there. You have to take a golf cart. So I come to realize that, like, this is the private clubhouse for this private community, and you can only get there by boat or on foot. So for them, it's like walking through their own backyards to this centralized clubhouse. For me, it is undrivable. I can't get there. So all of a sudden, I am hoofing it a half a mile round trip to the clubhouse and back to my truck to get these balloon bouquets. I'm like running across this little path on this golf course. I'm so mad. I'm so sweaty. I'm so irritated that this person didn't tell me that the closest place to park was a quarter mile away, and I'm running, and also it's like 95 degrees, so I'm a hot mess. The balloons are all tangled. I finally get there. I have to make another trip back to my car, which, as someone who walks a half a mile a month, doing it 5 times in one day while I'm frustrated in the hot sun was not a pretty scene. So then I'm making my second trip to get the garland. I'm running back. At this point, I'm running because I gave myself a half an hour, and it took me 15 minutes to realize that this clubhouse is not, there's no parking lot. I have to drive, or I have to walk. So now I have the garland, and I'm so sweaty. I get into the clubhouse and I'm like frantically trying to get these balloon garlands up. And the woman's like, oh, hi, I tried calling you back, which that's a lie. She didn't, because I did not have a missed call. So I'm so irritated. I couldn't even keep a professional front on. Like, I'm mad. And I don't know if she could tell. I had the balloons, and then she's one of these customers that's like, I don't know, maybe the garland should be higher. Do you think it should be lower? And I'm like so irritated right now. I'm pouring down sweat. I want to die. I have a side cramp because I haven't run that much in a year. And then she has me stand in front of the garlands so she could take a picture to see if she likes how they look with people in front of them. You guys, I thought I was going to like turn into a dragon and start like breathing fire at this woman. I was so irritated. I was so late. And all of this to say, was she at fault for not telling me that I couldn't drive my car up to this clubhouse? Yes. But all of this would have felt like just kind of a weird, funny situation had I not been up against that timeline. So this is my example of how not to do it, not to schedule yourself back to back to back so that you're so stressed, you're so irritated, because that inevitably will be the client that makes you pose in front of your own balloons to see if she likes the way they look. And oh man, to have photos, I wish she could send me those, but I'm too afraid to talk to her because I was too mean. But man, I must have looked like Satan. Sweaty Satan. I've never been so irritated or sweaty in my life. But those are the situations that I know you can relate, because we've all done that. We book ourselves too tight and we don't leave ourselves any time to have pleasant conversation, to take goofy photos, to find the clubhouse that doesn't have a road, that's in the middle of backyards. Like, we set ourselves up for failure when we don't allow enough time. So that was a very long tangent talking about my nightmare installation I just had on a 95-degree day. And learn from me. Don't overbook yourself. All right, other ways that you can overserve. Helping out in a pinch. I have another example, something that just happened. I went to a job and she ordered this very awesome peace sign. So I did a full circle arch and a full peace sign in the middle for her daughter's birthday. It was a super cool installation and I was in and out pretty quick. Everything went smooth and she spent a good amount of money on balloons. So I couldn't fault her when she then came out into the backyard with her own DIY balloon garland. I am not one of those people that thinks how dare they do their own balloons? People can do whatever they want. I certainly understand that spending $500 on your daughter's birthday is a lot, and if that means you need to add a few more balloons from an Amazon kit, whatever, it's your party. However, I think we automatically go to that place of those don't even match, and why did she DIY them, and I could have done that so much better. But in this situation, she brought the balloon garland outside and it immediately blew away. It was textbook. It immediately blew away. It was on one of those clear plastic strips, so all of the balloons blew out. They were scattered across the grass and popping, and it was heartbreaking. I felt really bad for her. So because I allowed myself so much time, I was able to say oh my gosh, I have some of these extra balloons that I'm not adding into this installation. I could, but we could also put them on the garland. And again, I could have been serves her right for trying to do it herself. But instead, I went over there and I helped her kind of reassemble the garland quickly, and her backdrops were blowing over, so I had an extra cement base in the back of my car that I wasn't going to use between the time of setup and the time of takedown. So I was able to help her and she was so appreciative. And I think that's one of those things. If you are, I'm not suggesting that you donate 2 hours of your time to help fix your client's balloons. But there are always those situations where they just bit off more than they can chew. They, didn't expect everything to go wrong, even though we know better. We know everything always does go wrong, and outdoors is not where you should do your first balloon installation. So if you have time to help your clients and just be supportive, or even if you're not helping, but you just say wow, that's really beautiful. You did a great job for your first balloon garland. I think that makes them feel really good. And I don't think that is the place we naturally go. The place we naturally go is you should have hired me. But that's not going to help in this case. So just being encouraging and giving a little compliment, especially when things are going wrong and they need that boost, because they have eyes. They can see that their garland isn't as good as what you delivered, but they might not have that extra money. So I think just being supportive and encouraging, and if you can lend a hand and just say oh, you know what, I have an extra U-glue dash that would probably hold your garland in place a little bit better than that Scotch tape. I think those little things go a really long way and they hardly cost any money. Now, these last two tips require a little bit of energy, but very few people are going to do these things. So not only are they going to make you stand out as an amazing service provider, but if you have other balloon competition in your area, this is a great way to stand out. So the first one is an idea that I am really trying to implement in my business, but something that I have learned from my friend Liz Romani. So Liz is amazing. She runs Valley Party Supply in Vincennes, Indiana, and she also hosted the first ever big balloon build in the United States. And if you follow Liz, specifically on Facebook, she is really a force to be reckoned with when it comes to customer service. Not only does her store do balloons, but they also do yard cards. So she has made it a habit, and now her employees do the same thing, of going live on Facebook and celebrating her customers. So you can see posts. I mean, they do this all the time. She is so confident and amazing. And again, this isn't something that feels totally natural to me, but I'm trying to get there. And that is going either live or doing a post about your customers, about what you're celebrating. So Liz will, for example, go live on Facebook in someone's front yard and say, look at this amazing installation we did for Johnny's 3rd birthday. This is a brand new set of yard cards. We're so excited to have these in store. Happy birthday, Johnny. And remember, if you are celebrating an upcoming event, contact Valley Party to book your services today. So she does it in this way that is very service-based. Like she is celebrating someone else, but also it makes it really easy for you to want to buy those as well. So I think for balloons, it's the same thing. Instead of just saying like, here's a photo from an anniversary. How much cooler is it to say, today I had the opportunity to serve, John and Linda on their 50th wedding anniversary. How amazing is that? Go ahead and add your congratulations in this post to them on celebrating such a milestone. And don't forget to keep balloons in mind for your upcoming anniversaries or whatever. You don't even have to put a sales pitch on the end. I just think it's so nice to kind of celebrate your customers by name and their occasion. Now, the one caveat is you don't want to do this too early because you don't want to ruin a potential surprise. But I think celebrating your customers and posting about them is something that is free. And in Liz's case, I think her customers actually like look forward to it. Like they like seeing the posts about their event. Now, the other way that you can do this that is even more public and more impactful is to share events. So if you were hired to do arches for a community fundraiser, share those on Instagram and really, really help them promote their event, and Facebook too. I always go to Instagram, but anywhere on social media, if you do a post saying, not just look at this purple and white arch that I did, but look at this purple and white arch that we put up this morning for the Relay for Life event that's taking place tonight. This whole event is organized by the student council at our high school. They have done such an amazing job, and you can click this link to contribute to their cause. Well done, guys. I'm so proud of your accomplishments, and thanks for trusting us with your balloons. So really being like a community champion and celebrating. That takes almost no time. It's absolutely free. People are likely to share that, so in the end, you will probably get more publicity, but that is a way that you can really overserve your clients and make them feel really important just by promoting the things that you are already doing balloons for. All right, the final post, sending a thank you. On a basic level, you should always be sending a thank you email. And then next level is to send a postcard. So I have created a postcard and I just have a bunch printed. I had them designed, or I designed them in Canva, and then I had them printed and delivered via Canva. The quality is amazing. And I don't do this for every client, but anytime I have an address, I will just quickly jot down a postcard and throw it in the mail. So I am paying for postage, but oh my gosh, to get a piece of hard copy mail, people just rarely do. And if it's a handwritten card, that is even better. So if you are on the Bright Balloon mailing list, you will automatically get a link to this template in our weekly newsletter. And if you're not on the mailing list, when you sign up using the link in the show notes, that will automatically send you this template. Or if you're listening anytime in the future and this episode released months ago, you can use that same link and it will send you that Canva template that you can customize. You can put your business info on there. And really, the postcard's pretty generic. It says the same thing as my thank you email, but it's just kind of cool to get something in the mail. And it's extra cool if you can address it to like a birthday kid. Obviously, their parents booked you, but that's pretty impressive if you know their name and you can just say like, hope you had an amazing birthday and hope to party with you again in the future. Again, it's not like a coupon or a sales leaflet or anything like that. It's literally just a postcard that says thank you. So this works out when you're delivering to a home or like a business. You can use a general business mailing address and then, they'll find the person. Just put the person's name on there, and if they have an office mail system, it'll get sorted out. They'll get it eventually. And if they don't, big deal. It's a postcard, right? So the reason this doesn't work in all cases is because sometimes you only have the venue address, and in that case, you're obviously not going to want to send your client's postcard to a random venue. So I don't do this every time. I do it for jobs that I really want to get in the future, or like customers that I just really enjoyed working with. Sometimes when I've had time to have those conversations during installation, I remember little details, like for a graduation party, if you remember where the person is going, that's kind of cool to throw that in there. Like, thanks for having me out for your graduation party. Good luck at the University of Wisconsin this fall. Something so little, like a 2-sentence little postcard, like it's just not something that people do, which is why it's such an easy way to stand out. So again, if you want to do this, you can design your own postcard in Canva. You can start with the free template that I am including. You could buy a package of postcards and just use those. They don't even have to be custom, but it's pretty slick when you have like your logo on there or something balloon related. So I hope that helps. You don't have to do all of these things, but I just felt compelled to record an episode that, like, you don't have to give away free balloons to be impressive. Your service is going to be the thing that is the most impressive of all. Way more impressive than your balloons, way more impressive than your prices, way more impressive than your competition. It's you, it's your service. So hopefully some of these things are little actions that you can implement or work towards implementing in the next few months. All right, I will see you next week for another episode. Thanks for joining me in this week's episode. As usual, I tried to keep it bright and light in a few minutes or less. If you wish there were more episodes, you are in luck. You can join us in our Patreon group for our monthly book club. I record weekly episodes guiding you through a different self-development book each month. For as little as $3 a month, you can join more than 50 other balloon business owners in our private group. Click the link in the show notes to join us. So many of you have reached out and told me how the podcast has changed your business, and I love hearing those stories. But you might be ready to take things to the next level. If that's you, you should check out the laser-focused Solopreneur course, where I walk you through more than 2 hours of video content showing exactly how I run my business as a solopreneur. I run a 6-figure balloon business, I work a full-time job, I have a toddler, and I produce this podcast weekly. And it's not because I'm more efficient than anybody else, it's just because I apply this laser-focused framework to every decision that I make. If you're struggling with work-life balance, figuring out how to grow your business in a manageable way, and feeling like there just aren't enough hours in the day, this course is for you. Check it out using the link in the show notes.